Hello and welcome back. In the first video, we talked about why spiritual leadership today is less about being seen everywhere and more about being seen in the right context. In this video, we're going to take that understanding one step further and talk about how having credibility actually works on a fundamental level to bring you more sales and aligned clients. All right, so let's keep going. So here's something that most people do not realize. People do not buy from the person they see the most of online. They buy from the person they trust the most. Sometimes seeing someone post day in and day out generates that trust, and sometimes it doesn't. It is not guaranteed that showing up more consistently will bring you more sales. It's just not. Trust is not built through repetition alone. It is built through perceived authority. So in this video, I'm going to show you why a book does the work for your business that online content on its own never can. In video one, we talked about the importance of context and the context shift, right? In other words, it's not about what you say, it's where people see you say it. Say it with me. It's not what I say, it's where people see me say it. It's like a tongue twister. We have talked already about how social media places your work in this stream of distraction, while a book places your work in a container of intention. They're in a place where they are contained, they're not being distracted, then they're focused. And this shift in context alone changes how your work is received by someone. So now we're going to look at what actually happens in the mind of your audience once this shift occurs. By the end of this video, you will understand why it's easier to build trust by going deeper rather than posting more frequently, how building your credibility reduces the need for you to convince, explain, or overperform to attract the clients that you want and need, and why a book becomes one of the few assets in your business that keeps working even when you are not. But most importantly, you're going to see why not all books create credibility equally, which you'll learn more about later on. And that is a very important distinction as well. Let's talk about what's actually happening when someone considers working with you. Most potential clients are not asking themselves, is this person talented? Of course, you are talented. They are actually asking themselves, is this person safe to trust? Do they really know what they're talking about? Will this be worth my time and money? On social media, people are constantly scanning. You know this, you feel this when you're on there as well. They are distracted, they are guarded from being sold to all day long and every day. They're more prepared to say no than they are to say yes. They want to say no. They're primed for it through the art of repetitively scrolling past all the things they don't want, right? They are in consumption mode. They are not in a receptive mode. Even if they already like you, there's often this split-second pause where their brain is assessing whether your content is going to give them a dopamine hit or create more for them to do and process than they are in the mood to handle in that moment. I know your brain does this too as you're scrolling. But when someone has credibility, that pause lengthens. It makes them slow down and prioritize their attention towards you above the other things they could be looking at instead. Their brain actually puts you on a higher level of priority of what to pay attention to. Why do we love content? This is not meant to be a series about bashing content. Content is excellent for connection. It's great for visibility. It helps people feel more familiar with you. But familiarity is not the same thing as authority. A post can inspire, a reel can really resonate with you. Even a podcast episode can be super insightful and it can make you trust somebody more. These things can make us feel closer to the creators we follow online. Sometimes they can even lead to sales. This is what the 2010s were all about, especially in the later 2010s when Instagram was going. I got all my clients from Instagram. Whenever anyone would ask me, how am I doing all this? I'm like, Instagram. But that is just not the case anymore. And too many of us are holding on to that memory, wishing it was true in the moment, and it just isn't anymore. So we have to be willing to embrace new things. This day-to-day content parade that people are getting into rarely answers the deeper question for someone scrolling of, can this person take me somewhere deep and resonant and meaningful to what I care about most right now? Can this person that I'm following really solve my real deep-seated problem? And this is where that credibility piece comes in. Credibility works differently from plain out content. Content is consumed and forgotten. Credibility compounds and accumulates over time. Once we've scrolled past something, we've all but forgotten about it. Books stay with you. They shift your beliefs permanently. They alter your rhythms and they change your behaviors. They become part of you and how you approach your life. And you might not be the same again after you read the right book at the right time as a type of content, but we don't usually think of a book as content so much, right? It's like it's on its own level and its own playing field. A book really represents the depth of your thinking and your compassion for your reader and the people you want to help. It presents your commitment to your message, and it really shows a willingness to stand behind your ideas and concepts. It tells your audience this person didn't just have a really good idea. They followed it all the way through. It's not just that like split second trail of lightning in the sky anymore. It's a stroke of lightning that hits a tree and sets it on fire, permanently altering its cellular structure forevermore. This is the same reason why reading the cliff notes of a book doesn't have the same impact as actually reading the whole book and absorbing and embodying its content. In 2026, we are seeking embodiment, not just more knowledge. We have too much information out there, too much knowledge. We need to actually be able to feel something deeply to get on board with it now. So, when I published my first book, something kind of subtle but incredibly powerful shifted. I wasn't there with them, obviously, as they're like reading every copy of my book. So, I wasn't there for every aha moment and every moment of realization they had. Instead, I just got to experience the results. I didn't need to know if they like this page or that page, right? People are showing up and they're asking different questions. Can I book a session? How can I work with you? When are you offering this again? They trusted my guidance faster. They arrived in my inbox already open instead of skeptical and like ready to say no, like people are on social media. The invitation started coming my way with people inviting me into their world, onto their podcasts, into collaborations with other brands, instead of me always going out of my way to invite everyone into mine. I just didn't need to prove myself in the same way anymore. The book itself became a reference point. It created this shared language and it built a foundation of trust. And that trust carried into my offers, my programs, and my business as a whole. It led to booked out months, whether or not I posted on social media that week or posted a new podcast episode. When we have credibility in place, sales conversations feel easier. They're pretty much already sold. They just want to understand the logistics of like how they can sign up. Where do they go to check out? When can they sign up? Your audience needs less convincing. They already want to work with you. They're just wondering how. And your work feels more established. It is easy for clients to want to choose you over others who might have similar solutions because people want to learn from the very best. They don't want to waste their time. And your book makes you stand out as the best, at least the best for them. This is especially important in 2026 when people are more selective than ever. They're more cautious with money and they're more resistant to getting swept into the hype of things. Credibility stands out energetically far above the noise of daily content that usually just serves to be not much more than like mindless entertainment for us, like an escape, right? So are you here to entertain or are you here to truly help? I know you're here to help. So this is where it gets really important for you to listen closely, okay? Not every book creates credibility. Some books build trust and some can unintentionally dilute it. So the kind of book you write definitely matters just as much as, writing a book at all and making that decision that you're going to go deeper. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next video, what type of book to write to make this whole context shift work for you. In video 3, I'll walk you through the different types of books spiritual entrepreneurs tend to write and which ones actually leverage credibility for your business right now. You will gain clarity on what kind of book strengthens your authority, what kind of book supports your offers, the ones you're offering now or the ones that you want to be offering, and what kind of book might actually hold you back. This is where things get especially practical because if you're going to write a book, you want to do it right and you want to write the one that's going to support your business long term. So before you head off to the next video, I'd love to hear from you. Where do you feel like gaining greater credibility would most support your business right now? More sales, higher pricing, maybe? more trust and less persuasion needed in your sales conversations? People just kind of go and they buy. What do you hope for the most? Leave a comment next to this video. I will read every single one. And I just really want you to know that you don't need more attention. You don't need to crack the algorithm or have wittier reels. You need to build the kind of trust that lasts. And once your credibility is in place, everything else gets easier. I will see you in the next video.